I'ma go on vacation after this one, Mom. I need to be in a place where this type of shit is playing all the time. You feel me? Plus you're smoking all my cigarettes and shit.
I'm Gary Lockwood, better known as Freehand Profit. I'm here at Rosewood, San Diego, setting up for my first solo show, Rise of the Undeadstock. The masks have come a long way since the first one. The very first piece was actually made from a Gucci handbag that was going to be thrown out. And once I made that, I realized I wanted to work with materials that I cared about, so that's why I picked up the sneakers. I've always made work inspired by hip-hop, and of course kicks have a huge influence. For me, it was a lot about shell toes and Timberlands and white uptowns when I was coming up. And so when I switched over, I started small. I picked up a pair of SB Blazers for $20 at a Nike outlet in Vero Beach. And since then, I've just moved forward and tried to push the boundary and the expectations of each new mask. The process is really organic. I have certain things that I do the same way every time. Really, that only boils down to the deconstruction though. Each deconstruction starts with chopping the upper from the midsole and the sole, and from there I'll start figuring out which pieces need to come apart, which pieces need to stay together. Sometimes I'll start with a base mask in mind. Like for example, I'll be working on the DB9 soon, and because I have two different colored soles, I know I have to find a mask that has a dual canister so we can show off that aspect of the shoe. And that comes across a lot sometimes. When I was working with the Bin 5s, I actually had the mask nearly complete, but I didn't know where the tongue was going to go. But the tongue is such a prominent part of the 5, I had to actually put that right there on the forehead, and it actually covered up a part of the toe box that was real smooth, but the end result was worth it, and it really wouldn't have been the same to have the first Jordan 5 mask not have that prominent 3M tongue, which is one of my favorite features, being that they are my favorite J's.
Yeah.
I'm real grateful to Rosewood for reaching out and giving me the opportunity to have my first solo show. I've been doing a lot of group shows in LA, also an alumni show at the Corcoran in DC where I went to school. But this is my first real solo show, and when Dante reached out, I came down to San Diego to hang out with B. Salah, the co-author of Arming the Undeadstock, my book, and it was great. Once I saw the venue, it was perfect. A sneaker shop with an art gallery attached. It's the perfect blend, and they really understood the work, and giving me this opportunity has been absolutely fantastic. The balance of business and art is really a tricky thing, because any time that I spend working on the business side is taken away from the creative time. And thankfully I have very good collectors and clients who are very patient with me, as they know that the art really can't be rushed. I've also learned that I'm an artist, and I need to do what I love and put the weight on the important things, which is making these masks. Because as much as it is my business now, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to do what I love for a living, I also need to remember that if I stop loving it, if I'm spending my days answering emails all day instead of working in the studio, I'm not going to be a happy person, and the work will suffer for that. I look at this body of work kind of as my freshman album, if you will. The next album may be more masks, maybe they're not gas masks. I have enjoyed working on pieces. The Olympic 180 mask that I did for Drunk Off Shoes in Montreal, we actually built on a hockey mask base to be tribute to one of his favorite hockey teams. So I really like branching out and trying new things with these materials, and I have concepts that I'm kind of sketching out and playing with, because I'm not sure that I want to be doing work as it is right now for the rest of my life. Big thanks to AO7 for coming out and doing the interview, and of course to Rosewood for giving me this great opportunity. Got to thank my fam over at 8 and 9 for making sure I'm looking fresh for the opening. Also to the Fat Chance crew, aka the Flying Pigs. Stay muddy, get fly. I wouldn't have gotten here without your help. Much appreciated to all my friends and family and all my fans. Big thanks. You can find me at freehandprofit.com, freehandprofit.com. Same thing on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Freehand Profit. Worst case scenario, just Google me. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah, Lost City. I'd like to invite you all to something beautiful, you know? Dizzy, ease back. My speech is cool like the breezes, California coasting, I move like the seasons. Take your time, ease in while I begin. The kid is in moonshine, make a sweet blend. My feet spin grands on the weekends. The shoe collection's like sand on the beaches. My features in demand as of recent. Rise to your feet, please stand as I present. Cabron, none other than me, kid. Along with the gang you see me running the streets with. 3 chicks with a flash of the teeth quick. Next, she's in the whip on some passenger seat shit. Imagine a brief bit, my lifestyle. Full of happiness, deep chips and bright smiles. I'm type picky, no cheap shit. I like style, maybe cause I'm fresher than speed stick and white towel.